It is Thursday, May 21st, 2026. Hi, everyone. Welcome into the Potomac Local News Podcast. Glad to have you in here today, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, X, you're watching the live stream, or you're watching the restream. Thank you for coming on. I am more rested today. I got to tell you, I was up what felt like 24 hours doing Buc-ee's content yesterday. I was doing the Stafford Board of County Supervisors meeting Tuesday night. And of course, that went well in late in the evening. And I was up until about 2 a.m. doing that stuff. I was back up doing the podcast yesterday with you guys hanging out. Love to hang out with you guys. And then afternoon, I was on Fox 5 doing the recap of Buc-ee's. And it was a busy day, but it's always a blessing to be able to do this job and to be your eyes and ears and tell you what's going on where you live. I for one, I'm excited about the Buc-ee's. I'm excited about it. I've never been to a Buc-ee's. So I'm going to have to go maybe check one out. I was going to go out to the one in near Harrisonburg out on 81. And, one thing led to another and, breaking news, running a daily news operation, never got, it's sometimes hard to get out of the area that you cover, but maybe we'll make a road trip out there. The Buc-ee's set to open possibly by 2028. So if you're excited about the Buc-ee's, let me know. If you've been to a Buc-ee's, what should I get? Let me know the menu, your favorites on there. If you're not excited about the Buc-ee's, I've got an email from a Stafford County resident who is not excited about the Buc-ee's and is not happy with the way the supervisors carried them on the meeting on Tuesday. And I'll probably be posting that as a letter to the editor on PotomacLocal.com. If you are not already signed up for our free email newsletter, and you want to know what's going on where you live, and you never want to miss a headline, and you want a free email newsletter that's going to tell you all that stuff, go to PotomacLocal.com right now and sign up for our free email newsletter. I send it out every day, 4 p.m., with everything you need to know, packed with local information you're not going to find anywhere else. PotomacLocal.com and click free newsletter. Actually, I think it's email newsletter here. Let's do it together, shall we? Because sometimes I just need to remind myself of how to do all this stuff. I mean, I talk about it all the time, but do I do it all the time? No, I don't. So it's good sometimes to remind yourself every now and again. So this is our website right here. And then you have this, go to the top of our website and click on newsletter, and then you're going to get this nice screen, and it says, oh, that's so kind, the free email that helps you connect with your community right there. It's good stuff. How's everybody out there doing today? Give me a drop in the comments where you're watching from. If you're watching from Woodbridge, Fredericksburg, Manassas, Terre Haute, Indiana, perhaps, who knows where you're watching from. Good morning to you. Good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. We're streaming this live just a little after 9 a.m. On the podcast today, we're going to be talking about continued power outages. Manassas cannot seem to keep the lights on. This is an ongoing thing. We had a power outage yesterday, affected a lot of people. Downtown Manassas was out of power yet again. The Prince William County Courthouse closed down for the afternoon, sending everybody home. And of course, it comes on the heels of another power outage we had just this past Sunday at the airport, the Manassas airport. And if you caught our Manassas Monday podcast here on the Potomac Local podcast, we had Lynn Forkel Green on, former city councilwoman, and we were talking about that. And if Manassas airport is going to expand, which it is, the FAA just approved its new name this week. It is now Washington Manassas Airport. And they're going to expand, and they're going to have commercial flights out of this airport. Well, the power has got to stay on. And Manassas doesn't have a very good track record with keeping the lights on. So we're going to go into all that. Rita Witte from Always Flavored joins us at 9:15 this morning to talk about all the things going on around Fredericksburg and Stafford. So Jeffrey Thanks for chiming in. Glad you're watching from Stafford. Good to hear from you. And I've got it. Someone emailed me a question about the in North Stafford, the Garrison project that seems to continually sit there idly and do nothing. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit because someone emailed me or messaged me. They dropped me a note somewhere, news at potomaclocal.com or right here on Facebook or our X. We're talking about that because the Garrison project, a lot of people drive by and like, what's going on? What's happening there? So, let's see here. First of all, because this is a local podcast, I get to talk about this, and I'm a nerd when it comes to this stuff, so you'll have to excuse me. But this is the weather. It's going to be a gray day today. It's the current radar, National Weather Service. We got a lot of rain going over Maryland right now, but Virginia remaining pretty dry. So, and we need the rain because we are in a severe drought and the lakes have been drying up for weeks. The ponds in the area have been drying up for weeks. We're on well water where I live, and the water's getting kind of cloudy a little bit from our tap. And so we're starting to get concerned about the availability of water in our area. And so it's going to be a rainy day, though, for the next few days. I'm trying to find, this is the National Weather Service page, and sometimes they move stuff around. Sometimes sometimes you got to go digging for stuff. So here's the forecast here, Quantico. Today, showers, thunderstorms possible after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Cloudy, high near 67. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely after 9 p.m. Low around 55. Today's high temperature is going to be cool today. It'll be 67, so it'll be warm, but the clouds cover is going to make it cool. Friday, showers, high 61. And 90% chance of rain. So Friday's going to be a rainy day. Friday night, showers. Saturday. Now we're getting into Memorial Day weekend. What are your plans for the Memorial Day weekend? Are you staying in town? Are you going to the beach? Are you having a cookout? Are you going to something local? Let me know if you're planning to party this weekend. Party hardy safely, of course. Party hardy safely this weekend for Memorial Day weekend. Let me know. Drop in the comments what you're doing for Memorial Day weekend, because we've got to think positively about Memorial Day, because the weather is kind of going to rain literally on our Memorial Day parade. Saturday, showers with thunderstorms possible after 2 o'clock, and it's going to be cool, 62 degrees. And Sunday, chance of showers before 8 o'clock, and then again after 2 p.m. A little bit warmer, 73 degrees on Sunday. So that's your quick weather forecast. I'm going to go through the stuff that we've posted. This is our PotomacLocal.com. Just posted this story for you here. If you want an electric car, Dumfries just approved a new dealership on Route 1, just on about 2 acres of property. It's going to be a new electric vehicle store. Let's see. Doesn't really the EV dealership aligns with a broader investment to attract effort to attract investment, to strengthen the tax base and support emerging green industries while adhering to the Destination Dumfries 2024 plan. So nobody spoke at the public hearing. This was on Tuesday night. The board, the town council approved that. So new electric vehicle shop coming there. If you live in Stafford, VDOT's looking for comments on widening Leland Road in Stafford County. They have an open survey. You can get that link to that survey at our website, potomaclocal.com. Stafford residents can review the plans to widen the road. The project would widen Leland Road to a 3-lane section with 1 travel lane in each direction and a shared 2-way left turn lane. Don't you love those 2-way left turn lanes? You get out there in the middle of the road and you're like, oh my God, there is traffic flowing right by me on the left, on the right. I got to make a move. I can't sit here all day. I don't mind them. I just don't like I don't like to drive in them because you shouldn't. That you're not supposed to drive in them. You're not supposed to just ease into those middle lanes and creep along. You keep going. You get in the middle lane and you stop and you wait for your turn to get in. So don't be a creeper. Literally, don't be a creeper. Don't creep in that middle lane. The plan also adds safety improvements for bicyclists and pedestrians, including a new 5-foot sidewalks on both sides of Leland Road. So more details there. They're looking for for feedback from the public up until June 6th. So you can feedback, give them feedback, and of course, we had more power outages yesterday, as I was alluded to at the top of the pod today. Ongoing power outage is in Manassas, shut down the courthouse. Residents and businesses in the city of Manassas are facing yet another significant power outage on Wednesday afternoon. Now, as latest check, power is back on. It's not still dark there. Let me just double check that. But it was another outage. Let's see. You know what we're gonna do? Where is Virginia? All right. Check the weather. Actually, no. Check the power outage situation in Manassas for me. Give me an update. All right, we're gonna go to Grok now and see what Grok is saying on the latest on this. So everything's back on. No power outages in that area. Everything's back on. Everything's working. But again, power outages all over Manassas yesterday. You live in Manassas? Are you watching from Manassas? Are you affected by this? I mean, you clearly, power outages happen, yes, but in Manassas, it's very frequent. And it's very difficult if you're a business owner, if you have someone on oxygen at your home, if you need medical care and you don't have a generator, the frequency of these outages are rare because we do not see them as frequently as we do in the other communities that we cover in Stafford and Woodbridge and Fredericksburg. And of course, when storms roll through and weather happens and, stuff like that, we get severe weather, summer storms, power outages are common. But in Manassas, generally these things are caused by squirrels all the time. And that's why if you look at our thumbnail from the podcast on Monday, it was a squirrel once again getting in to the power outage there. And yeah. Yep. It's pretty common there. So let me know what you think about all that. Rita.
Hello, how are you?
Good. I'm good. Thanks for coming on the pod. This is Rita Witte. She is with Always Flavored.
How have you been?
Looks like she's going into Always Flavored there.
Well, I figured it's easier in here because the light was too weird.
Yeah, well, we want to see your shop anyway.
Well, here it is.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on the pod. We've been talking about power outages. We've been talking about the weather. We've been talking about a little bit of local news that's going on there. But we're glad that you came on and to clue us in on what's happening on Caroline Street. Now, your shop there is, if you've never been to Always Flavored, first, it's delicious. Rita has been running this shop for how many years now?
Well, we opened in November of 2022, but we were on Princess Anne. And we moved to Caroline in March of 2024. And then we moved into this larger, more spacious location in March of 2025. So we've been in this location for just over a year and, just having fun growing every day.
That's fantastic. Yeah, no, she's right on Caroline Street in Fredericksburg. Yeah, go check her out. And we'll let you plug all the socials and the YouTubes and all the things so people can follow you. But what's the buzz on Caroline Street? What's going on? It's Memorial Day weekend. So many things happen in the area. What's going on down in Fredericksburg this weekend?
So, we're getting ready to start our business after hours on Thursday nights, where a lot of our retail shops are going to be extending their hours until 6 p.m. So it gives a little bit of chance for people that are necessarily working or not in the area. The city is generously providing some like help with the business owners because it
Agreed.
is really important, because it's hard to pay people if you don't have sales, but it's hard to generate sales if you're not open. So it's like getting people in that habit. So every Thursday night, it's the Summer Nights program. Next, this weekend it's kind of a little bit calmer downtown, but we're going to be having First Friday come up in 2 weeks. There's a lot of things going to be going on at the visitor center. We got some great new, they just took down the women's stuff. They have a new community pictures of a lot of the and millennials in the area. And at Ferry Farm, they're going to be doing some stuff.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
you got it right.
That's awesome. Yeah. The visitor center has been a great addition to Caroline Street. When I
Yeah,
think
and
it's
I think by moving it, it definitely did a lot wonders for the smaller businesses a little bit further down, because you often had the visitor center being on the end of the 700s. It would stop there. There would be no traffic to the businesses that were a little bit further down. But by moving it and extending it and growing that footprint, it takes all the traffic past these businesses like me and, the small shops across the street. And it also, kind of changes the dynamic, making it a little bit more family friendly
Mhm.
and, allowing for, the, allowing for people to feel good about coming down to this area. They've been doing a great job with lots of activities in front of the visitor center in
Yeah.
their
And the visitor center itself actually serves as a meeting place too. Like they have a conference room in there, and there's been several meetings and gatherings and fun things that I've actually been to. And you wouldn't think like, well, it's a visitor center, it's a tourist trap. They just go in and pick up brochures or whatever. But no, it actually serves as a place where people can gather and get together and meet one another. I mean, I think it's a great addition to Caroline Street.
Yeah, it's a pretty building. They did a great job with it. You
Yeah.
can the people that work there, and you catching the trolley right in front of it. So it's definitely making for a better usage of that space versus where it was before. It was kind of smaller, and it attracted a lot of different activity. Right now, everybody parks in the parking garage and starts there, and kind of takes the loop down Caroline and William Street.
Yeah. I pulled up the city's website, and they have a great section for Memorial Day events. And this is something that I have been wanting to go to for the past few years, and have not yet been able to get out to it. But the Fredericksburg National Cemetery, which is the final resting place for over 15,000 U.S. soldiers, on the 23rd. So that's looks like it's Saturday evening. There 15,000 luminaras will light up the cemetery, representing each soldier buried there. And I believe there's a photo of it right there. If you can kind of see
It's
the
beautiful.
screen there.
Yeah, it's
I've
really
never.
cool.
Have you ever been to this? Because I've never, and I've always thought to myself, wow, this would be such a sight to see.
It's very pretty. I've driven past. I haven't been to the event, but they leave it up for a time being, and it's kind of like our version, the city's version of the in DC they have where you put the things on the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of our version of that, and it's a lot of fun to go, and it's interactive for the kids. They get to be a part of it. And it's teaching the history without teaching, without having to force it down their throats.
Yeah. All the events that we're going to talk about today, I will make sure that I link to them in the description of this video and put them on our website, potomaclocal.com. So if you're listening to this and you're like, "Why? Hey, I want more information about that," go to our website, potomaclocal.com, where you can watch this video, listen to Rita and I chat about what's going on around town, and then you can get more information about the events that we're talking about. Also on the website, Fredericksburg Symphony's Summon the Heroes and Memorial Concerts celebration of America's 250th anniversary, which I think is great. I know it's the 250th, and we've been talking about this and we've been hearing about this, but we haven't seen a lot of this. So maybe we'll see more 250th garb and banners and
Oh, you're
uh,
going to be seeing a lot,
yeah, I can't wait.
the girls in tourism have been every day. Like I see them, they come in and they're meeting with different publications. They're one investing in that to get the city out and out more, especially, something that hasn't really been talked about outside of the city, but is about a month ago, Caroline Street was actually nominated, won best city street in America. Like Southern Southern Street. Did you
Oh
catch
yeah,
that?
absolutely. It was between
Yeah.
Caroline and there was I forget now. Now I forget the town in Florida, but hey, nobody remembers number two because of course Fredericksburg is number one, and we only remember the winners. It was between Caroline Street and Fredericksburg in a town in Florida, and Fredericksburg won. This
We
is
came
the
out. It was insane. That was also the week that Mary Washington had their championship game. So, in the middle of the game, they flashed it on the TV and everybody was texting, voting. The same thing at the Fred Nats that week, at the baseball stadium. They had everybody voting at the stadium. Every one of us business owners were literally like calling and texting. And when you read the article, it was like their last minute. It was up to the wire. And, it's interesting when that's part of the reason I love the town is when we want to, we will. Like,
I like that.
it was nobody was giving up. Like we all got up that morning and we're like, did we win? And it was cool.
That's so awesome to have the business owners, the residents, everybody come together and get behind a common cause. Kind of like what we want to see for the 250th for the
Yeah,
U.S.
and I think that we're gonna start seeing a lot more in the next few weeks coming out with the public as they firm it up. I know
Yeah.
that um we have so we're a week different. I'm on the Main Street planning, or the committee of the activities committee, so like what events we're doing and what we're doing to get that. So that's actually the one for this month is it's every second, it's the second Tuesday of the month. So I have that next week, so we'll probably start getting some good details about that. Right now I think we pushed past like the Mother's Day and everybody's trying to get through, because oddly, like this graduation thing here, because we have Memorial Day and then midweek graduation day, and it's pushes it all together that sometimes it's one slips in and you miss things.
Yeah, yeah. This Fredericksburg Symphony, in celebration of America's 250th anniversary, the FSO, will summon America's heroes in a special memorial concert. Looks like that's going to be happening here on Saturday from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. And nerd alert. John Williams' score to Saving Private Ryan. I'm a huge movie score nerd guy who listens to Pandora on the movie score soundtrack channel because I'm just a nerd. So and we went to the Kennedy Center last year because they were doing like a movie score thing and they played stuff from the 1930s and like Gone with the Wind and all the big scores. And then they played E.T. And my wife is just like, calm down, you nerd. Just stop, right? Dude, you're at the Kennedy Center. You can't be, bouncing in your chair like that.
Why
And besides,
not?
it's ET. You can't bounce. But yes, you can. I can
Yes, you
do it.
can.
I can
Listen,
do it. I'm
I get
proof
that
of
way
it.
about food and food competitions. I'm a nerd with food. So, you put me in front of some of my favorites. I'm like, what? I get excited about the shows, just who's gonna win. So, we can be nerds about whatever passions us. So, as far as that goes, the nerd alert in you, next month they're going to start talking about it, and it was a really cool event last year. We actually were sponsors of it. Is the Film Fest. So I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
yeah. So it was kind of like, I don't think they advertised as much as they wanted to, because I think it was the first one. But one of the former, he used to work for the city. His name was Ryan Cuddy. He started this Fredericksburg Film Festival, and it was a whole weekend thing. And so that's coming in June. It's a little bit off, but it's good to put on the radar for those people that are into independent films, and it's again like they're, it's a nonprofit side, so they were doing, we donated some things, and just so they had some items to give away, so that's definitely coming down the pike too, right
Yeah.
between there.
Drop your
And
favorite film in the chat, by the way. If you're a nerd, if you're a film nerd like me, if you drop your and Rita too. I mean, she loves the movies. Who doesn't love seeing a good movie? Drop your favorite movie in the chat here. What is it? Is it E.T.? Is it Total Recall? I don't know why that just came to my mind. Is it? I'm on a Schwarzenegger kick. Is it Predator? Right? I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to see Arnold Schwarzenegger running around fighting aliens in the jungle? I mean,
one of mine is the Sixth Sense with Bruce
yes.
Willis. It's
Yes.
like one of the most underrated, but like you get the sci-fi, but you get like the weird storyline. It's just, I love it. And
I
I am hesitant to always say what my favorites are, because when you're ADHD like me, you just, everything's your favorite.
that
Everything. You're like, oh yeah, but when, like when I actually lock it down, I'm like, that's one of my favorites.
we have to talk more about that Fredericksburg Film Festival, because I know we've done some coverage, and I know Ryan, and we've interviewed Ryan a few times for PotomacLocal.com, talking about the film fest and what it means for the city. A lot of people actually shoot films in Fredericksburg because it's
Yeah,
just
just the cityscape is just so pretty, and we end up having just some really amazing coverage. Like every kid in the area is going through taking their prom pictures here. Why? Because it's just that pretty, including my kid a few weeks ago.
Yeah, like this video if you have been to Fredericksburg and have a favorite spot that you like to hang out in, or you think is very unique, that you think is very photogenic. Go ahead and like the video and drop where you like to go first when you're in downtown Fredericksburg. It's good to see
And
that.
that's a perfect blog post, because I literally just 2-3 weeks ago when we did prom, I'm like Googling where is the best place to take prom pictures in Fredericksburg, and
So
your
what did it say?
Gemini.
What
Well,
did the Masters AI say?
it said Riverfront Park, and it said like Kenmore, and then it
Oh, yeah.
said something on Chatham, and I'm lazy. My store's right here in Riverfront Park, and there wasn't a bad angle, especially the girls are just so pretty, you know, but you got some really pretty like the cloudy shots over there. So
Yeah.
that's but there's definitely some, like I have friends that did it over in in Market Square, and
Hmm.
there's some good shots that you can get.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
I'm kind of lazy, so, and it was, we left the house ridiculously.
I wouldn't say lazy,
So
because you can't go. I mean, you don't have to go far to get a great shot
yeah,
in downtown
right.
Fredericksburg, right? You
Yeah,
don't
you
have to go
can't.
far. You don't have to go far at all. But you are with Always Flavored. I want to get into talking about that a little bit. You have done a lot of the farmers markets in the area, and
Yeah.
you
We spent some time in Manassas. We've done a
yeah,
couple of events up there. We did. They had their own jazz festival a couple of years ago in the pavilion downtown. That was also fun. We spent some time at the farmers markets there. I love Manassas. I really do. I love that whole side of town. Town for me. But so we're just expanding our growth. Your customers, if you have any Food Lions, can pick us up there too.
oh, that's
But
awesome. So you're in Food Line now. That's cool.
well, we've been in Food Line for about a year and a half, and so we're in every Food Line in the state of Virginia. So what Always Flavored, we make gourmet hot sauce and seasonings, and they're all my recipes. Basically started as a COVID baby. I started making hot sauce out of too many peppers in my garden,
Yeah.
and when you got resources, you figure it out. Your friends don't like you that much if they, you can't. What are you going to do with hot peppers? So that turned into selling at some of the bigger events, or selling at farmers markets, really, because that's where you're allowed to start, and then continuously growing. And now we're in 400 locations, which going to be soon. I guess I could tell you here because I just found out yesterday. Harris Teeter's just picked us up. We're going to be in,
That's awesome. Congratulations.
yeah, 90 Harris Teeters across Virginia, Maryland, and DC. And
That's
so
fantastic.
right down the street from you at Harris Teeter's pretty soon.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be talking about that very here shortly about that Harris Teeter and some things that are going on 610
Yep.
because we have a viewer that wanted to know a little bit more about what's happening with the Garrison project, and I promised at the top of the pod we would talk about that. So, drop your like in this video if you've been to Harris Teeter and you have seen Always Flavored, or if you're going to
Not
go
yet.
look.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, so
We got a
okay.
little bit. We just found out they just did the order, so I have to, but it could
But
take
you're
up
going to go to Food Line and look. You're going to first of all, you're
Yeah,
going to go
we're
to
at
Always
Food Line,
Flavor on
right.
Caroline Street. You're going to go
Yeah, come
downtown
to
to Always.
Caroline, it's
You're going to
better.
go to Caroline. That's the best place to get it right there. But the next time you're in Food Line, drop the like here because you are going to go look for this and support Rita, support local, support small business because these are the people who are creating jobs in our community. They're the ones sponsoring the softball teams, the baseball teams, the soccer teams. They're the ones building our community, and that's why when you think hot sauce, when you think something good, that's why you think of Always Flavored. That's fantastic. Congratulations to you. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
we're excited, and it's just gonna give more opportunities for our people, give more opportunities for the things going on. There, Fredericksburg Main Street's gonna be pulling out some stuff. They're doing a great job with doing the openings and closings. We've been really helping with them. They just did the flower crawl a few weeks ago, and like I said, First Friday's coming up, and it's been. I love that First Friday's even kind of been changing too for people like you and me. It got to a point where it was like, do I go down there? Do I not? Because we have littles, and
Hmm.
we want our
Yeah.
littles to feel safe. And I think that all the business owners have taken like ownership of making it friendly for people with kids, making it friendly for people that just want to stroll, and not about anything but loving the city, loving the arts. And on that you can take the free trolley up and down, you kind of get a great glimpse. And it's a really great way to they do sip and stroll if that's your thing. If not, then it's a little bit later. They have Sounds of Summer going every Friday night. We have music in towns in the town, in the square. And that it's a way for everybody to get out, do something free, and not have to feel overburdened by spending a lot of money, because I know it's hard for
Yeah.
peers like
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
leave the house and it's $100 just to.
Right, exactly. I mean, you can't go to fast food and get away without paying 30, $40 when you have a family, right? I mean, that's exactly what you're looking at. So it's a good way to get downtown and again, support the local businesses, meet your neighbors, get out with the community and see what's new. Are you still doing farmers markets? Are you still out and about
Yeah,
and can people
yeah,
find you
yeah,
there?
yeah. We're at the Spotsylvania Farmers Market, twice a month, every other Saturday, pretty much. And that's been our base home for a long time. We love it there. They do a great job, getting people out, and then supporting other businesses too. But usually you'll find Chris there because I don't. I'm usually here at the store on those days, but Chris is my husband, so he's the man behind the curtain. And
See, every entrepreneur has to have a supportive spouse because it
oh
doesn't work without the support system.
yeah, I wouldn't be here without him. And I'm sure you feel that way about your wife. They they are the reason, but they have to believe the mission too. Like he is 100% on the mission, believes in us and this business every day. And you know, I couldn't do anything. And I think that two people going in the same direction, that's how we get there further. Equally yoked. It's not just a mystery why you have people that are equally yoked. It's biblical, it's factual. We're stronger together. Just like you and me and all of us doing this kind of stuff, we're all better together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're all of us together. I think we're going to be making a pilgrimage up to Buc-ee's when it opens.
Yeah. Have you been
In
to Have you been to a
2020.
Buc-ee's?
So no, I've never been to a Buc-ee's. And so I can say that I'm excited that Buc-ee's is coming. I think it's going to be good for, the tax revenue and blah, 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 and all the things that the supporters say, but I can't tell you definitively that I've been there and I've had the brisket or the Buc-ee nuggets or whatever they are. But I don't know. What do you think? Or do you think this is going to be good
Oh,
for the area?
I think it'll be good. I think, just the pure revenue stream. Like I've been to, when we driven to Florida, we went to twice, and it's very overwhelming to the average person. Like when I went, I was like, think of Wawa and IKEA had a baby, and because you go to IKEA and you're like, what's next? What's
Yeah.
next?
Yeah.
And you're like, I like it, but it's hard to shop here
Yeah.
for somebody like me. And then you go to Wawa and you're getting your food, you're getting your sandwiches, you're getting your gas, and usually the bathrooms are clean, usually. But the bathrooms, if you're a person about bathrooms at Buc-ee's, that's like their thing. Like literally, they're cleaner than any bathroom you'll ever go to,
Yeah.
probably even in our house.
Wow.
But the pumps for miles, but um and it's interesting, like it definitely has its own subculture. You walk in and there's a whole area of toys and gifts, and it's a whole gift shop in its own. And
Yeah.
then there's the areas of like a whole entire wall of jerky, which I'm not complaining, but and then there's a deli of jerky. So you get the packaged jerky on the wall, and then you get to order if you want pounds of this jerky. And then the next station is like the taco bar, and then it's it's like its own commissary of food in it. Like the one that I went to, the center is like where the brisket is. You can grab and go, or you can do like the MTOs, like they have at Wawa.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the
Yeah.
other side is the convenience store, which is 5 times the convenience store. Um, so they also support local. They often look for small people like us, but a lot of their stuff is private labeled.
Hmm.
So you're getting that full brand experience. That's why they dominate with that. They get that.
Yeah.
They're not selling a lot of other people's stuff, but they do in certain circumstances. But so you're definitely getting that. This is that culture. What I think is like when you drive past there and you're sitting at the gas pump, they have a sign this big saying how much they're paying their employees. In our area, we need employers that can afford to pay people better. Like they can. And that's a fact. Like I try my hardest to pay my people as best as I can. It's not like you come in and I'm like, okay, I try really hard to pay people, but the only thing that's going to happen if I do more is I got to raise my prices. I got to do this. I got to do
Right.
this.
Right. Right.
And it's a
Right.
game. But if we have people that are having people that are at normal people skill sets, their employees aren't having to get lots of degrees and lots of this,
Yeah, no,
but
it's a
they're
great
paying.
starter job. It's a great place for people to go and learn skills. And I think they start hiring at 18. So, I mean, it's a great starter job to people. I mean, look, I was a waiter, I was a bartender, I did a lot of work in the restaurant business. And because of that, I learned to put up with a bunch of crap. I learned to be
Yeah.
able to take people's crap because people would eat like the entire plate and they would then like, you know what? I didn't really like it that
Yeah.
much. I'm sorry. Can I get a refund? I'm like, well, there's nothing left on your plate. What do you want I mean, like, and you have to, and you can't be a jerk. Like, you have to learn how to, because the customer is always right, and you have to learn
Yeah.
how to serve people, and that's what it's about, serving people. So, yeah, no, I think you're absolutely onto something. It's a great place to get those skills that you need to serve people.
No, like, have you seen that what they pay people?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's insane. So I just pulled it up just right now. The general manager, we're just going to quit our jobs today. You can be a general manager and make 150 to $200,000 a year.
Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign
Yeah.
me up. That's
They're the cashiers in the gift shop, their starting wage is $16 an hour.
yeah.
So, that was just a quick glance. But when you talk about being able to pay somebody, we all argue livable wage. And, I can't start somebody at that pay rate. It's just not feasible for my business. So I would love to have more businesses that are able to do that. Because guess what? On certain circumstances, other businesses can. They have the corporate backing, they have that inertia that it might take less pressure off of us, or I guess we'll lose all the good people and it might change the scale. So
Yeah,
I
but it all
don't
evens
believe.
out. I mean, it really does. It all comes out in the wash because some people will go there, some people will go to you, and it does, like a rising tides raises all boats scenario. I mean, it's good
Yeah,
for the community.
I think we're bringing jobs, we're bringing income tax revenue. Like I have to pay sales tax, I can't imagine that they don't,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. They're going to pay about $2 million a year in sales tax, and they will end up being Stafford County's fourth largest commercial taxpayer, number four behind Amazon data centers at number one. So yeah, they're going to pay a lot of taxes. Folks, if you're excited about Buc-ee's, drop Buc-ee's in the chat. Give this video a like, share this video, tell everyone that we're talking about our community where we live right here in Fredericksburg, Stafford, Manassas, and Woodbridge, right here on Potomac Local. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have you share our videos so more people know that we're talking about all the things local where we live. Hey, I want to shift gears and talk a little bit about 610. We had a viewer question who emailed me yesterday or dropped me a message on Facebook or wherever. I forget where the message came in from. But they wanted to know about the Garrison. And they asked me, Uriah, what's happening with the Garrison project? And so if you remember what sounded like a car crash out there. They said something. Everybody
somebody
okay?
came in the door.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I thought I heard tires screeching there for a second.
Yeah, it's the door. It's a 200-year-old building.
It's got character. It's got character. I like that. 610 Garrison, the Garrison project. Now, what this was a plan for a major movie theater to replace the old theater at Aquia Town Center. And gosh knows if you've been following PotomacLocal.com since I started it way back 16 years ago, we've written a lot about the Aquia Town Center, including the demolition of the movie theater that used to be there, the Regal Cinemas at Aquia Town Center. And the plan was for them to demolish the old theater at Aquia Town Center and put a Harris Teeter grocery store in that area. The plan for the Harris Teeter eventually went through. It actually went through earlier this year. They're going to replace the old Ann Moncure Elementary School in 610 with a Harris Teeter grocery store. But the Aquia Town Center remains empty, no movie theater. Now, that movie theater was going to go over to the Garrison, and that is further down 610. It's past the Chick-fil-A. It's past the Home Depot. It's on there on the left if you're going west out there in Stafford County on
Closer to
610.
high school, close to Stafford North.
Yeah, North Stafford. Yeah, going in the direction of North Stafford, and it's there on the land is there on the left. They broke ground for this project back in 2018, but I can definitely tell you there has been no movement on this project. So those of you who are emailing and asking and what's going on with the Garrison, the Pence Group is the developer of this project, and they have promised a movie theater and several key restaurants. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Starbucks go in there. Seems like a Starbucks goes in everywhere, but nothing happening there to date. And that leads me to wonder, can a movie theater survive? Drop movie theater in the chat if you think a movie theater has a real chance of surviving in 2026 when the TV screens in our living room are massive. They take up the entire wall, and it's post-COVID era. Like, people are just so used to watching movies at home now. Drop movie theater in the chat if you think a movie theater is going to work here in our community. What do you think? Do you think a movie theater can do well here in 2026?
It's hard because, honestly, my family of four, the only time we go to the movies is Regal has $2 Tuesday or the half price Tuesdays. We go then and we all share popcorn, and it's still like a stretch, and then I'm cranky and I'm tired and I just want to go home anyway. But could it? Yeah, it's a great discretionary income on North Stafford. What are we doing paying these 16-year-olds all this money for these jobs? What are they doing with their money? I think that there needs to be places for our youth, our middle kids to hang out, these kids that are between 16 and 20. Like, where do they have places to go? I remember that's where I went every Friday was the movie theater. I think a movie theater under what movie theaters used to be might not be what it is. Now we're charging how much to get in, and the amount that you have to pay to go to the traditional movie per se right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in the economy, if it's in that budget for a family. But I think if there's some type of reimagined with it, but it's hard for, that's probably why it's one of those projects that keep pushing in different directions, because they look down and they're like, well, these things are closing and losing money. And do we invest in this giant building? if we figure out a way to do it differently, the differentlies that I think are kind of weirdly successful is in Fredericksburg, there's a place called Reclaim Arcade.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
they've reimagined what that looks like. Do we have some kind of hybrid of these things that we're getting the new movies, but we're not doing it in this amphitheater that we're having to pay people to sweep up, like, I don't know. That's not my thing of reimagining what movie theaters look like. But if, the question really is, you guys have the followers, they're demanding it from the people, but we have, I know I lived in North Stafford for the entire time we've ever lived there, and I wouldn't come to Fredericksburg at all. Like,
Hmm.
if I got to work, if I got home from work, especially when I worked in Woodbridge and I get to 610 where I lived, would I come to Fredericksburg to come to a movie? No, because I'm tired and I don't want to sit in traffic anymore. But we have two movie theaters here in Fredericksburg. Are they getting, all these people that are demanding a movie theater, are they coming and supporting those businesses? I don't know, because,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if those businesses wanted to open a second location and these ones were so full, then they'd see the demand. Is it just a talking demand or is it a real demand? We have a couple of, you have like, it's a small local business. It's on 610. It's the Monsters Mini Golf.
Hmm.
And we did my
Hmm.
son's birthday a couple of years ago.
That's a
Are
very cool
people
place.
It's awesome. Are we
Yeah,
utilizing them? They're a small business. And are we utilizing them and keeping them busy when we're complaining we don't have activities for our kids to do? You
yeah.
know, I
Now, like this video, if you think a movie theater would do well in Stafford or anywhere in our community between Fredericksburg, Manassas, and Woodbridge, and we've got several movie theaters in Woodbridge, but if you think one would do well in Stafford County, drop a like on this video and tell us what you love most about the theater. Is it the popcorn? Is it the new movies that you haven't seen yet? Is it the huge screen? Let me know. Drop your comments on this video and give me a like if you think the movie theater will do well. You know, I'll say that a movie theater, when you go to the movies, it's a shared experience. And because you're all going in there and you're all watching the same thing at the same time, and you're all going through, if it's a scary movie, everybody's jumping out of their seat when they get scared, or if it's if it's a romantic movie, everybody's, let's face it, the chicks are, they're tearing up. And the guys are like, yeah, I took my girl to a romantic movie. That's the points for the guy. Good
Yeah, I'm
job.
good.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, that's how the guy should be feeling about it. But it's a shared experience because we're all in there together. And I think that when movie theaters do go forward and do their thing, I think they should be thinking about that because, yeah, maybe we won't go drop $15 a ticket or $20 a ticket to go see a new movie that we can pay, 40 or whatever it costs to watch a new release on streaming at home. But we might go and see a movie that we all know and love just to go out and be with people who know and love it. I mean, if you think about like a
Yeah, you
Comic
give a new
Con.
experience. Like, yeah, if we can give our new, I go through and I have a whole list as is age appropriate for the kid movies that I'm making my children watch. And, we have a list and me and Chris cut them off. So it's like, would we all show up and, go to watch A Land Before Time on the big screen with
Yes,
our kids? You
there you
know what I
go.
mean? Like, you would, because that was a generational thing for you, and your kids are perfectly age appropriate for that right now. Little Mermaid, if they put the original one in
Absolutely.
digital, why not? That was one of the
Absolutely.
first movies I went to see. But
Absolutely.
like I said, I think it has to be reimagined in a context to, not more bells and whistles, but making it, it's got to be a feeling. It's got to be just like anything else. You're just paying for lip service if you're just showing up. There's got to be a connection, emotional connection, because right now in this world we have such emotional connections with our money that we could be making a choice. We could be making a choice between going to the movies with the kids or filling up our gas tank.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
one of them has to make a choice. And we should, in an ideal society we wouldn't have to make that choice, but that's, we all have to, there's opportunity cost for every dollar we spend nowadays. And if there isn't some type of emotional connection, then we're going to go home and feel like, oh, is that worth it? I'm going to do that again? Gavin was yelling the whole time and he wasn't even watching it. Oh, I can't, I don't even want to bother.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's you got to have a good reason to get people out. You got to have a good reason to get people to part with their money, even though sometimes you think, you did you really spend money on that desk ornament right there that also doubles as a wristband? Did you really do that? But sometimes you have to really appeal to people's emotions or nostalgia to get people back, and they want to, as you said, share an experience that maybe you had as a kid and pass that down to your kids, right? I mean, you said The Little Mermaid. What a fantastic movie! What a fantastic score! Um, yeah, no, I think you're absolutely onto something. So, guys, again, drop us in the comments what you think we should do with the movie theaters. Rita, as we wrap up, how can we support you? How can we get out and support your neighbors, the businesses near you? What can we do to help?
Well, I think, always free is for me, it's just liking and, creating that momentum. You know, my products could be sold anywhere online, anywhere. So for people just, finding us on social media and, engage, that's always easy and free for, coming to the restaurant, tasting us, trying us, inviting my products into your home, because, there is some sense of that to us. It's very personal for me. The community here in Fredericksburg, we want to see the new people coming in and seeing the new things. You have a different, some people sit there online and say how everything's closing or it's this. No, we have a different business open every month. There's like 100 businesses that are currently in the pipeline applying for leasing and stuff like that. So yes, you might come in, it might not see that business that you kind of liked last time, but guaranteed if they don't beat the weather, you're probably going to see somebody else in there soon, trying the new ones out. And if you like them, supporting them in whatever way is possible. It, the advantage to people like you and me is it's doesn't cost anything to like a picture. Like
Yeah.
if you like a business and you just hit like on their things, that's supporting them more than you could even understand. And that doesn't cost anything.
That
Just
love, that
really,
online love is free. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. And, just, keeping it positive, you have such a band of, your reach and the people that are watching or tuning in. It's just such a diverse group. And, keeping it, just remembering that the things that are so far outside that we can't control, that we can all love each other for where exactly we are. This is a community of people, and the reason why we're all here is what brought us here. And I was a military kid. I went to elementary and middle school here, high school and college in New Jersey, and I graduated college. And I'm like, I'm going home, because that's what we
Mhm.
all tend to feel when we're in this area, regardless of what anybody else says or does. That's why we're all here, is because we always felt home. And the more we all start saying that, the more it's going to dissipate the anger and animosity that tends to come because of how close we are to the major politics and the major
Mhm.
trend. We we see so many people down 95 that
Mhm.
we're not able to be a small little tiny area in communities. But you know the transitions. But if we remember that we are our cities, and it doesn't matter, they don't have to tell us what it is, it's ours, and we have to claim
Mhm.
it.
And we make it, and it's up to us to make the community, and it's up to us to make it feel like home. And out and there's that the e pluribus unum, out of many we are one. And I love that. I
Mhm.
love that about this
Yeah.
area. I love that. Fantastic. Drop the tell us your website, your socials, the address that people can come and see you on Caroline Street. Tell me now so I can make sure that's all in the box.
So alwaysflavored.com, Facebook, so all of them are always flavored. It's pretty easy. But and we're at 619 Caroline Street. And we are open Monday. We're open every day, just different hours, like beginning of the week. 8 to 3:30, and Friday and Saturdays 8 to 8. So, or you can always order online, and yeah,
Yeah, that's fantastic.
alwaysflavor.com. Yeah, it's easy. And if you
That's
want to order
fantastic.
food and you're close enough, it's Always Flavored Bistro. So that has our whole menu, and you can see all the yummy sandwiches.
And I would be remiss if I didn't pull up your website and just show everybody the website here that you've got, because I want to be able to show that. There she is. That's how you know you're at alwaysflavor.com. You look at flavor first always, and then you see there are beautiful things right there that she makes right here in Fredericksburg. So check her out, alwaysflavor.com. Rita, I hope you come back and
Of
keep
course.
talking. Keep talking about what makes our community great and what brings people together, because that's what we like to talk about. So thanks for coming on today. It's
I
been a
I
pleasure to have you.
appreciate the opportunity, and we're always here. We should do a live on First Friday. Might be fun.
That would be fun.
this
Yeah.
this Friday, that plug for me is, if you haven't talked to him, he's great. His name, Bill Carroll. He has the Bill Carroll Foundation, and they're working on some music, recording, video stuff. It's Bill Carroll Foundation. They're bringing their immersion recording truck out, and he's gonna be helping kids right in the street, because we pull them up, we get the parking spaces right in the front, and he's gonna bring the Tran out, and he's gonna start teaching kids how to record. He really works, especially with his organization, is trying to work with special needs kids to
Yeah.
learn through music. And so he's doing great things. Bill Carroll's been a radio personality for 100 years in the
I was gonna
area.
say, I mean, that name is synonymous with Fredericksburg at B101.5.
Yep. And so his new foundation is doing big things, especially for that marginalized generation that I have a lot of passion for. So he'll be out First Friday with his van, and you know having a mini fundraiser for his organization.
Guys, check that out. That's so cool. That is so cool. I again, the nerd in me, because I'm a big nerd. I might gonna learn how to be a radio DJ from Bill Carroll. I mean, I may have a future in it. Who knows? That's fantastic. Thanks for coming on,
Okay,
Rita.
I'll
It's
talk to
good
you
to see
soon.
you.
Thank you.
Take care. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us. It's always good to hear from our local business owners, to talk about what makes the community great. If you want to come on the podcast, if you have a community organization, a business, something that you're doing to better our community, drop me a line, drop me an email, news@potomaclocal.com, news@potomaclocal.com. You can tell me everything that you're doing. We might want to bring you on the pod, have you talk about it, so you can get in front of the community and let more people know what you're doing. If you're out in the community and you see something happening, you see a new business that wasn't there before, and you're like, that's new. Maybe Uriah can give us some details on it. Text me. Take a picture of the business with your cell phone. Take a picture of any news that you're seeing, safely, of course, with your cell phone, and send it. Text me, 571-989-1695, 571-989-1695. I love to hear from you. We can't do Potomac Local News without you. You are our eyes, our ears, and our biggest supporters, and we thank you so much. If you have not already signed up for our free email newsletter, go to potomaclocal.com now, click newsletter, and sign up for our free email newsletter. Send it out every day, 4 p.m. And if you really, really want to support us and you really want 100% access to everything we publish, please consider becoming a member of Potomac Local at $8.58 a month. It's cheaper than a movie ticket. It's cheaper than that 6-pack of craft beer that you might be enjoying this Memorial Day weekend. Trust me, it's vital to our local reporting. It's vital to our existence as a local news organization. And we thank you so much. Our current supporters, our current members, thank you so much for all you do to support this type of journalism, this type of work in the community. And thanks for watching. Have a great, safe Thursday. Join us tomorrow morning. Again, 9 a.m., we've got Woodbridge District Supervisor Jeannie LaCroix. Jeannie LaCroix is coming on the pod tomorrow. And if you want to know a little bit more about Jeannie, she is she was just elected the Woodbridge District Supervisor this year in a special election. And share her screen here. There we go. There we go. That's Jeannie, and she is she's the first Republican to hold this position in 40 years. It's amazing to see that. It's just a unique stat right there. So Jeannie's going to talk about, she's doing so much in the district, from beautification to cleaning up Route 1 to so many different things. So we're going to have Jeannie on, uh, Woodbridge District Supervisor Jeannie LaCroix, on tomorrow on the pod. So have a great Thursday, and we will talk to you tomorrow, 9 a.m.